Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuah, our Father. In Yahusha, he is the Messiah, the one who carries the burden of Yah. His voice, our high priest, soon coming king. Hear, O Yisharal, Yahuah, who is our mighty one, he is one. There is no other mighty one in existence, brothers and sisters, than Yahuah. And Yahusha is his voice. This is Brother Mayaka coming to you again today with another question. Is Saturday really the Shabat of Yahuah? In today's world, many people believe that Saturday is the Shabat, the seventh day of the week. But when we examine the scriptures and the natural timekeeping system Yahuah established from creation, we find that the true Shabat is not found on the Gregorian calendar. In fact, the concept of a continuous 7-day week disconnected from the moon is not scriptural at all. It is Roman. Yahuah's Shabbats, just like his feasts, are appointed by the luminaries, the sun, moon, and stars. Let's go through the scriptures and history to uncover the truth about Yahuah's Shabbats and why the moon is essential to finding it. Let's begin with Wayakara, Leviticus chapter 23 verses 1 through 3, which says, And Yahuah spoke unto Mashah, saying, Speak unto the children of Yisrael, and say unto them, concerning the feasts of Yahuah, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Shabbat of rest, and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Shabbat of Yahuah in all your dwellings. This is key. The Shabbat is not just a day of rest, it is a feast. In fact, it is the very first feast listed by Yahuah. That means it follows the same appointment system as the other feasts, which are all set by the moon. If the moon appoints the feast, and the Shabbat is a feast, then the moon must also appoint the Shabbat. Now consider this. Tehillim, Psalms, chapter 104, verse 19, which reads, He appointed the moon for feasts. The sun knows his going down. This verse proves that the moon is Yahuah's clock for feasts. There is no mention of a man-made calendar or a fixed weekly cycle. The moon appoints the times, and the Shabbat, being a feast, is governed by this same system. That means the Gregorian Saturday, which cycles endlessly without regard to the moon, cannot possibly be Yahuah's true Shabbat. Now, let's return to the beginning. In Barashat Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 5, we read, In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. And Elohim said, Let there be light. And there was light. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good, and Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. This light was not merely spiritual, it was the activation of the sun, moon, and stars which were created in verse 1. The division of light and darkness on day 1 shows us that time began with the functioning of the luminaries. Yahuah did not create time based on darkness or a hidden calendar. He spoke light into being, and his light began the cycle of day and night. That's Yahuah's true time. In Barashat Genesis, chapter 1, verse 14, we find the purpose of the luminaries clearly defined. And Elohim said, Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for appointed feasts and for days and years. This is a direct statement from the Creator himself. The lights in the heavens, the sun, moon, and stars are for measuring time, not Roman calendars, not Jewish traditions, not continuous 7-day loops. Only the luminaries are appointed by Yahuah to declare his time. Let's dive into some history. The Saturday Shabbat did not originate with Yahuah. He was invented through a long process of compromise and rebellion during the rise of Roman Christianity. In the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD, the early assemblies of Yisrael who followed Yahusha and kept the Shabbat according to the moon were systematically persecuted. After Emperor Constantine I supposedly converted to Christianity, he sought to merge Roman paganism with the Messianic faith, forming what we know today as Constantinian Christianity, the early form of Catholicism. In 321 AD, Constantine issued the first civil law enforcing Sunday observance, not based on scripture, but on sun worship, inherited from the Roman deity Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. Just a few years later, at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, Constantine made it illegal to keep anything related to Hebrew customs, including the Shabbats, the renewed moons, and the feasts. Over time, the Roman Catholic Church rejected the original moon-based Shabbat that Yahuah gave to Yisrael and replaced it with man-made alternatives. They elevated Sunday as the new Lord's Day, rooted in Roman sun worship. And as the centuries passed, Saturday, the 7th day of the Roman week, became widely accepted as the Shabbat, especially by the 6th and 7th centuries AD. But this was not the time Yahuah established from creation. His original Shabbat was determined by the moon, not by a fixed, repeating man-made calendar. The Saturday tradition was divorced from the luminaries based on a continuous weekly cycle and adopted out of convenience, compromise, and tradition, not obedience to Yahuah's faithful timekeeping system written in the heavens. Let us take a close look at the Constantine Creed, 325 AD at the Council of Nicaea. It reads as follows: I renounce all customs, rites, legalisms, unleavened bread, and sacrifices of lambs of the Hebrews, and all the other feasts of the Hebrews, sacrifices, prayers, aspirations, purifications, sanctifications, and propitiations, and fasts, and new moons, and Shabbats, and superstitions, and hymns, and chants, and observances, and synagogues. Absolutely everything Hebrew, every law, rite, and custom, and if afterwards I shall wish to deny and return to Hebrew superstition, or shall be found eating with Hebrews, or feasting with them, or secretly conversing and condemning the Christian religion, instead of openly confuting them and condemning their vain faith, then let the trembling of Cain and the leprosy of Gehazi cleave to me, as well as the legal punishments to which I acknowledge myself liable, and may I be an anathema in the world to come, and may my soul be set down with Satan and the devils. And you can read the references right here. Let us now look at Yahuah, Jubilees, chapter 2, verse 9. And on the 4th day, he created the sun and the moon and the stars, and set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon all the earth, and to rule over the day and night, and divide the light from the darkness. And Alayam appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days, and for Shabbats, and for months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Shabbats of years, and for jubilees, and for all the seasons or Muad Yam of the years. Now we know that the sun, moon, and stars were created on day 1, as part of the heavens, according to Barashat Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, when the Alayam created the heavens and the earth. These celestial orbs were present, but not yet operating in their appointed roles. When the Alayam declared, "Let there be light," in Barashat Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, the sun was lit by his command, marking the beginning of time and the first day of the solar cycle. However, it wasn't until day 4 that the sun, moon, and stars were officially assigned their functions to divide the day from the night, to be for signs, appointed times or muad yam, days, years, to rule over the day and night, and to give light upon the earth. This means they were created and illuminated on day 1, but were not set into their commanded circuits and purposes until day 4, as both Barashat Genesis and Yahuah Yom Jubilees confirm when rightly understood. How do we know that the heavens include the sun, moon, and stars? Yahuah Psalms 19 verse 1 states, "The heavens enumerate the glory of all, and the expanse shows his handiwork." From the very beginning, Yahuah placed his timekeeping system in the Shamayam, or the heavens, specifically through the sun, moon, and stars, known in Abaryah as H8064, which means Shamayam. These luminaries were not placed randomly. They serve a divine purpose, and we have 3 powerful scriptural witnesses that confirm this. Witness number 1, Barashat Genesis chapter 1 verse 14 shows that the Alayam said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the Shamayam to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for appointed times or muad yam, and for days and years." This reveals that the sun, moon, and stars were positioned in the Shamayam to govern Yahuah's calendar, including his feast days and years. Witness number 2, Yahuah Psalms chapter 19 verse 1 states, "The Shamayam declared the glory of all, and the expanse shows his handiwork." This is the witness within the witness. The Shamayam are not silent. They actively proclaim something, the kabod of all. And witness number 3, Debaryam, Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 19 warns us not to worship the sun, moon, and stars, the host of the Shamayam, which proves again that they are part of the Shamayam, which is H8064 in the Blue Letter Bible. You can check it for yourself. Created and ordained by Yahuah as divine timekeepers. The key to understanding what they are declaring lies in the Abaryah word kabod, which is H3519 in the Paleo Abaryah. Ka means covering or power. Ba means house or family. U means secure or hook. And Da means door or pathway. This word forms a prophetic picture, a powerful covering over the house of Yisrael, securely connected and opening the way forward. The question is, what is this open and secured path that the Shamayam are declaring every day and night? It is none other than the path of years. Yahuah's divine set-apart timekeeping system, written in the heavens through the perfect harmony of the sun and the moon. This is the true calendar of creation, established by the Creator, not by man. The Shamayam declare his kabod, and his kabod reveals his way, his time, and his path. Simply put, kabod means that Yahuah has placed a strong and protective covering over his people Yisrael. He has securely connected them to himself and opened a clear path forward for them to follow. That path is written in the heavens. It is his calendar, his covenant, and his Shabat, a sign between him and his people forever. Again, we see that the moon was appointed by Yahuah to determine not just the feast, but the Shabbats as well. This demolishes any idea that the Shabbat is on a fixed weekday like Saturday. Instead, it confirms that the Shabbats are part of the heavenly timekeeping system, not the man-made one. Some argue, based on Yahuah Jubilees chapter 2 verse 9 and Barashat Genesis chapter 1 verse 14, that the sun, moon, and stars were created on the fourth day, not the first. Their claim is that the luminaries did not exist until day 4, and that this is when the heavens was formed. However, this interpretation ignores the full context of Barashat Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 and contradicts the foundational truth that the Shamayam and the earth were already created on day 1, according to Barashat Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning, Alayam created the Shamayam and the earth. Since the sun, moon, and stars are part of the Shamayam, and the Shamayam was created on day 1, then the luminaries were necessarily created at that time as well. The confusion comes not from what the text says, but from misunderstanding the difference between creation and function. Barashat Genesis chapter 1 verse 14 and Yahuah Jubilees chapter 2 verse 9 do not describe the creation of the sun, moon, and stars from nothing on day 4, but rather their appointment to function to divide day from night, govern the time, to serve as signs for Muad Yam or appointed times, days, and years. The language is clear. Let there be lights, and let them be for signs. And he set them in the expanse. The word set denotes placement into operation, not initial creation. Therefore, both Barashat Genesis and Yahuah Jubilees support this truth. The heavens were created on day 1. The sun, moon, and stars, being a part of the heavens, were created on day 1, and they were assigned their roles and activated on day 4 in perfect alignment with the path of years timekeeping system designed by Yahuah. This understanding preserves the integrity of all scripture and reveals the deeper wisdom in how Yahuah set his calendar in motion with the sun and moon operating in harmony, declaring his kabod or glory and guiding his people through his divine and eternal timing. Now, brothers and sisters, let's examine the deeper harmony between the sun, moon, and stars, known as the path of years. Yahuah Jubilees chapter 6 verse 34. Verse 34. And all the children of Yashar will forget and will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons, seasons, and Shabbats, and they will go wrong as to all the orders of the years. Now you may be asking, Brother Mayaka, what is the path of years? Well, the path of years is when Yahuah causes the sun, moon, and stars to work together in the heavens to give us time without man-made adjustments, and that includes adding 13th months. Yahuah's timekeeping doesn't rely on man-made calendars, but is revealed through the path of years, his natural divine synchronization of the sun, moon, and stars. At creation, both the sun and moon were set in motion on the same day. The sun began its journey in the morning, and Hadash, or the renewed moon, appeared in the western sky just after sunset. The sun travels 12 hours before setting and entering the opposite portal, while Hadash appears briefly in the western sky and then shortly follows behind the sun through the same portal and rides with it on the other side for 12 more hours. The sun then returns to the east to begin day 2, while the moon begins its day 2 only after appearing again later that evening. This process continues monthly, and because the sun is always 12 hours ahead, this accumulates to a 6-day lead over the moon over the course of 12 months. This 6-day excess is confirmed in the book of Enoch, chapter 74, verse 11. Verse 11. At those times, There is an excess of 30 days belonging to the sun in 5 years. All the days belonging to each year of the 5 years, when completed, amount to 364 days. And to the sun and stars belong 6 days. 6 days in each of the 5 years, 30 days belonging to them. Together, the 6 excess days from the sun's 12-hour lead plus the 4 intercalary days added by the Alayam equal 10 days by which the moon falls naturally behind. This design is not a flaw. It is divinely ordained. Yahuah created the luminaries to operate in perfect harmony, never requiring man-made leap years or adjustments. This is Yahuah's natural order, the path of years. The sun, being the great luminary, holds all the time. But the book of Hanuk, chapter 73, explains how the sun transfers all of its time to the moon in increments of light in parts. That is why the moon appears differently each night. It is not creating its own time, it's receiving and reflecting time from the sun. This gradual transference of light is how we are able to determine the days, weeks, feasts, appointed times, and our Shabbats. It is a divine system where both luminaries work in harmony to mark time upon the earth. As it is written in Hanuk, Enoch, chapter 72, verse 1, the sefer of the courses of the luminaries of the heavens, the relations of each according to their classes, their dominion, and their seasons, according to their names and places of origin, and according to their months, which Uriah, the holy angel who was with me, who is their guide, showed me, and he showed me all their laws exactly as they are, and how it is regard to all the years of the world and unto eternity, till the new creation is accomplished, which endures till eternity. So you see, brothers and sisters, the sun, moon, and stars are the faithful witnesses Yahuah established from the very beginning, set in place at creation as his divine timekeepers. They declare his appointed times, revealing his unchanging love and steadfast covenant with his people. These luminaries were commanded to run their paths without interruption, bearing witness to his eternal order and instructions for all generations, even unto eternity. And to close this teaching with strength and clarity, I ask that you will please consider this final word from Hanuk, Enoch, chapter 41, verse 6. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to Yahuah's Remnant for more scriptural truths. May the everlasting peace of Yahuah rest upon you. May he grant you wisdom, discernment, and a continuous thirst for his righteousness. Ask for the ancient path, which is the good way, so you can find rest for your souls. Shalom.